Sometimes I think it's this association of art with the market itself. Probably it causes a lot of like anxiety and say like we don't want it to equate with that. I'm okay with that actually. It'll be good to see some successful art funds coming through. And why only art funds? I mean, there are collective investment schemes. So let's see. I mean, I'm interested in ways to bring in more and more people and somewhere to connect with art and get infected. And that's how it is, because I think that's when a real shift will happen actually. When you look at the sheer number, we were giving example of China. Why not here? And then you want those. Why do you want just like, 1%, I shouldn't even quote the percent, I mean like how do we know how many people, but very few people who participate. But if the numbers change, then like, there's a lot that's going to happen. So I'm all for it. I think it's, I think the private and the public, and then we want government intervention, like watchdogs, so they should be able to protect people's interests.
So could we say that when there was a boom and when some of the art funds began, and then of course with the economic downturn, and now that hopefully things have stabilized, so it is a good time for funds such as this to kind of like take shape, of course taking precautions into consideration.
I mean, like, it has cycles, right? Like, up and down, and it's very difficult to predict. And again, it's one of those things that, like, somewhere there has to be that kind of confidence that has to be brought into something, and you figure out your own ways because it's somebody else's money, and you can't be casual about it. Even if you're accountable for each and every penny, so you better guarantee, you better be sure that, like, whatever you're doing. I mean, I've heard stories that, like, for art funds, people have bought from the auctions and things. I mean, how can you do that? How can you pay like buyer's premium? Whatever, and transportation, insurance, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50% more. And from the auction where it's already like, bidding war and 2-minute madness. And then how are you going to return people's money? I mean, it's not possible. So you got to be innovative. You got to have clarity as to like where you're going to deploy this money. And I think if you break it down, then it will probably work out as like a gallery function, small gallery function, like in that sense, that you want to protect your clients, you want to like gain their confidence, you want them to scale up.
I think it's very important to protect the clients.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you also had mentioned that some of these funds returned some artwork to you.
Not to me, but to my clients. To your
clients.
The clients who, unfortunately, having to take back art instead of their money, and art that's not of the right value as well. So it's a little bit sad.
Okay, Shri, my question to you. While the value of Indian art sold at auctions has seen a significant boom, and the local art market in India is now estimated to be worth around several million pounds, art experts and dealers say that one of the main risks for buyers of Indian art is that there's no proper documentation, fixed mechanism of authentication and valuation of the artworks itself.
Yeah, authentication and valuation, two very important things. I think one of the things we touched briefly when talking about the galleries, as one of the main roles of the gallery, today if you want to authenticate a Hussain, you would go back to Pandor, because he's been in that business for 40 years and he would probably be able to say. So who can authenticate a work? I mean, if you can go back to the gallery, who sold it, if you trace the provenance of the work, if you're buying it from a dealer, you can go back to the gallery eventually, find a document. We all have bills, so you can do that. You can go back to the artist if he's alive. Sometimes you may not have know the gallery, but you can go back to the artist if he's alive and he can do it. Experts. Now this is again very grey area. Who is an expert? Yesterday I was coming in the car with a collector who was in the collectors forum here, and he was talking about Tagore's and Jamini Roy's, and he said that for 15,000 rupees you can get a certificate anywhere in India. So there are professors in colleges and things who are giving you certificates for 15,000 rupees. And that is a genuine thing. My question is, can he do that? The answer is no. So we don't have those things in place. There was no documentation there. There was no gallery system there. So how do you authenticate? And his answer was that you just have to study and see. So for really old work, you just have to trust yourself and buy from reputed people. So
No, buying now is not an issue, but what if you already own a piece of work which you bought, from older galleries, and of course they would, if they're in the business, they would certify it.
The secondary market has only started, let's say about 7, 8 years. In the last 7, 8 years, it's been active. So if somebody has bought work that is 15 and 20 years old, the chances are that they're all authentic, especially if a gallery is willing to support the work. Actually, somebody came to me, a small story that I'll tell you all, that somebody came to me saying, 20 years ago we bought a Vaikuntham from you and it's not a Vaikuntham. I said, impossible. 20 years ago it's got to be a Vaikuntham. So I said, bring it to me and show it to me. And they brought me two very small use of oracles. And this was an auction house, auction house. And I looked at it and I said, but even my peon will tell you this is use of oracle. So, you have these kind of stupid situations. So, there's no problem in older work. It's only now that all these problems have come in.
Yeah, otherwise for older works, I think buy from a Christie's or a Sotheby's. Even there sometimes things do get murky, but at least they withdraw things. The moment you put something in auction, at least people will stand up and say it's a fake or it's genuine. So if there is a controversy surrounding the work, it comes to light. So if you're really looking for really old works, I would say buy from a reputed auction house. Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Okay, would anybody like to comment on insurance for artwork?
It's there. Now there's a system. 5 years ago we were all crying, but now it's perfect. There is no problem at all. You can insure works. There are people who do it, and it's not very difficult.
Okay, Supriya, my question is to you. How does the impact of internet have on a gallery such as yours? Do you work with artworks online? How does that function for you?
Well, it does help because me being in Calcutta, which is a very small market, we do depend on buyers from all over the world, and there the internet helps, But when it's a high price work, when they are buying, say, 40, 50 lakhs worth of money they are spending, they definitely want to see it physically. But it does help, and then people know what you have, and you get new buyers that way, and they're always finding out what is your content, and you're able to reach many more people.
Would anybody like to comment on how it has enhanced the business, or you see that as a competition when you find auction houses also selling online? And in a way, is that a competition at all?
No, I don't think so at all.
It's a great facilitator.
I think it's
as simple as that.
Yeah. It's lovely for, just you can sit in one place and actually work. It's made life a lot
When
easier.
we started the gallery, there was no such facility.
Yeah, no, we had to come all the way to Calcutta to see work.
Yes, and also photography now it's so fast, you can send an image immediately.
Yes.
Where was that facility when we started? We used to run our galleries.
Today you can go to any exhibition, take the photograph with the BlackBerry and send it. It's such a delight now.
Yeah, I think it's also how do you use the internet? Do we kind of actually transact business that click into a shopping cart? The answer is no.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked.
No. I think that only happens with auctions, and it only happens with prints. There are certain online things that you can buy for prints, but not the kind of work we sell. If you want to buy Somakshi's work or something, you can't buy it on the internet. You've got to see the work, right? But I think it's important. We use internet or our website as an important tool. It's kind of branding. It's how do you look? Somebody who hasn't been to your physical space can go to your website and say, oh, this is this kind of a gallery. He or she represents those kind of artists. This is the information about an artist. So if you're representing a certain artist, what do you put up of that artist? Important museum shows, this is what the artist has done. So, the biography of the artist, those things become important. And yes, there's Facebook as well. So I think a lot of galleries are using that as an important tool as well.
I tried opening my gallery on Facebook the first time with the wrong password. Second time I couldn't remember the password, and now I can't even open Forum Art Gallery on Facebook.
My advice is get your son to do it. It's a young thing.
No, I have tried. I have very young girls working for me, and there's no way they could do that. Okay, so my last question to you. As a local gallery, what is your wish list for the art market in Chennai?